Hello, this is Dr. Brianna Sinatra, and today I wanted to talk with you about how to make gluten-free biscuits. So I wanted to tell you about a really simple recipe that we've been enjoying a lot in our family. We've been making it with soups and it's so good. So this recipe actually comes from the back of a Namaste Perfect Flour Blend bag of gluten-free flour. I've also tried it with Pamela's gluten-free mix and Cloud9 gluten-free mix, and it all turns out great. So this is what you want to do. So the recipe calls for 2 cups of gluten-free flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, half to 1 teaspoon of salt. I typically use 1 teaspoon, and we've been using Himalayan sea salt, and 2 teaspoons of sugar. I use organic coconut sugar for this. In a separate bowl, you want to mix together 2/3 cup of a milk. I've been using oat milk, but you can use any type of milk or milk alternative, with 1 egg. And I like to use an organic, free-range or pasture-raised egg, or egg from a pasture-raised chicken. And then you just mix that up with a fork. So you take your dry ingredients that were all put together, mix that with a fork as well, and then you want to take half a cup or 8 tablespoons of cold butter. I like to use an organic or a pasture-raised butter from a pasture-raised cow. I cut that up into little squares, put that into the flour, and then use a pastry cutter to just cut in that butter. You want to keep doing that until the butter size pieces are about the size of a small pea. Then you want to take that liquid mixture of the milk and egg and add that to the bowl. You want to do this where you with a fork, where you just gently toss in the wet mixture until everything is just wet and just barely stays together. You don't want to overly mix it, otherwise your biscuit won't turn out as flaky. Then you want to I take hand-sized pieces of the mixture, really gently forming it into a circle the size that I want it to be. Place that on parchment paper on a pan and put that in the oven at 450 for 10 to 12 minutes or until they're golden brown. And there you go. So it's actually quite quick. These are our biscuits. And I should figure out how to double the recipe because our kids just devour them in one sitting. But I wouldn't recommend that without trying it, because sometimes baking can be a little tricky if you just go ahead and double the recipe, and I want these to turn out delicious for you. So it can also be something that you use in the morning for like an egg with biscuits, with some spinach, or anything that seems delicious to you. I truly hope that you enjoy them as much as we have.